talk about that second half.
I tell you, obviously, they're very disappointed in the second half. The first half was 22 points. They had 7 points. Some of our guys played well, scored in the red zone. They were 1 for 7, third down. Up and played well in the second half. We couldn't stop them. We couldn't hang on the ball for 3 drives. So it is disappointing. It's very disappointing, frustrating.
Mike, when things start kind of going bad in the game, you worried that there's a sense of players
That's human nature, but you also have to be able to go up to the young man and encourage him as well. It's easy to point at what's not going well. You can do that, and you can snowball at some of the things that occurred today. But they're still young men that you have to bring them back. You have to hang on to them. You have to talk about things that can be possible for them. And again, there's about negativity. There's no things that go on in the game that that they know about. And so it's the challenge. It's the challenge of why you coach, why you teach, and why you don't give up on the players.
On the third down prior to the field goal, the second field goal, and look like the clock is about to run out. So keep it up there. Any miscommunication there, and just talk about the fact that Alex moved 39 yards.
Yeah, some communication issues as far as substitutions, who's in, clock management. It wasn't handled properly. It has to be handled better. And obviously, you saw the end result of that. And those are the type of things the second half that that lead to things that get exasperated because they're frustrated. You're frustrated. They're frustrated. It affects points. It affects field position. And you have to eliminate those things. And I thought. In the Maryland game, there was a better operation of what was going on. And again, the second half just was discouraging. It was disappointing.
After it was 22, would you say it was more what you did or what you guys working?
Well, it was probably a combination of both. And obviously, going in halves, 22-7. And then they come out, they receive the ball, and stop them, so there's a change of possession. And then in the third quarter, I think they did a nice job adjusting and doing what they needed to do for points. We didn't, I go back and I look and, 4 for 4 fumbles, and 4 for 16 in third downs, after being 1 for 7 in the first half. And so they extended drives, and we did, and they capitalized, and we did.
Seems like David had some accuracy issues, mostly over his own people. Is that something he's prone to do when he's rushed or whatever?
Well, we have to make sure, and he has to make sure that when guys are open, we gotta hit them, whether it's touch is required or whether it's putting the ball where it needs to be. We'll have a chance to go back and look at the film, and Steve, who's very child, will have a chance to look at it and correct those errors and those things that we saw today. He's got to play better. I'm sure he understands that. He played well enough in the first half and not good enough, not better in the second half.
Like last year, two sets scored 56 in the second half. Is there anything that Coach Kopp was doing that's made it tough to adjust to, or anything specific to that?
Well, nothing I can attribute him to. Two different coordinators, two different styles over the last couple of years. So they made plays, we didn't, and they're walking out here with a big group. And we have
You mentioned the fourth downs for the fourth down, but the one that gave them the lead was the little tight end leaks out. What happened on that play, and why was he able to get so much out of it?
I mean, obviously, we have explosive plays like that. There breakdowns and coverage and communication. We'll find out specifically as to what was communicated out there on the field. But those are the type of things, you're right. It was a fourth down play that ended up in an explosive play and a touchdown that changed the course of the game. Again, first half that was played well, and the second half that was not played, to what the coach and teach them to do. And we got to do a better job coaching and teaching. We have to execute and give ourselves a chance in these second half periods when things go back and forth, and you have to handle some adversity that's happening and respond to that. We didn't do a good job of responding to that today, particularly in the third quarter.
I've obviously done a choice to get back at it. What's your sense of the resilience of the guys that are doing a lot for 4 weeks in a row?
It's challenging. It's tough when you're young men, 18, 19, 20 years old, you have to deal with your psyche. And again, as I said, there's enough that's around, enough negativity that's around that we have to respond and block out distractions. We have to move on. We have to move forward. These guys are students, they're athletes. They want to win. They want to win. And we're young enough not to know that when things happen and adversity occurs, that we got to respond and bounce back to those things. We need to do a good job of that, particularly like I said in the second half. So they got to get coached. We got to coach them better. I got to do a better job. And it's all those things that are encapsulated when you have a team that's learning how to win, overcome adversity, and we'll continue to keep doing that.
Like they scored with, I think, 46 seconds left in the first half. You kept feeling that you kind of let them back in at that point. You feel like that game was coming.
Well, they did a good job of managing the end of half and having opportunities to score. They covered up offense and did some things, in the running game that we didn't have gaps covered, and they capitalized on that. Even with that score coming out, knowing they had the ball in the third quarter, that the defense held them. And so it happens in football games, but as I said, we played a really good first half, competitive first half, not a good enough second half to where that many points is given up and that lack of production on offense. When the offense had been doing a nice job, we didn't execute today in order to help on both sides.
Take two more questions from Jeff and
Like,
Jerry.
your stretch, saying, on defense, particularly on the defensive line, how much
Well, obviously, when you miss one of your star players, and then you have to manipulate some of your defenders. Jake Snyder played inside a little bit, Michael Moore played on the outside. Get some personnel changing up, but at this point of the season, I'm quite sure there's a lot of teams out there that have players that are out. And it's always about the second man up mentality, the next guy in, being able to perform, guys stepping up. And the second half, we didn't have enough guys step up offensively to affect what they were doing offensively.
Mike, what did you tell the team
It's everybody understands we want to win. Those young men want to win. Nothing that's out there that we do is to intentionally do something for harm to the players. But we have to learn how to win. We have to learn again. After coming off the last second loss, that one half is not good enough to win. Putting another representative half together as a young team continues to move forward and learn how to win. And that's the challenge right now. There are yet games to be played, more challenges to be met, particularly with Georgia Tech and their option offense. And these guys, like I said, they're 18, 19, 20-year-olds that are looking for leadership. And it's easy to point fingers. It's easy for them to get down on themselves, but you can't do that. You can't do that to these guys. These really young men that think that their identity is wrapped up in wins and losses on the football field. And it's discouraging. It's disappointing. That we've lost. But there's a lot of young men in there that need to understand that they're more than just a football player. Even though you want to win, you want to do those things necessary to give yourself a chance to win. But they still got to go to school on Monday. They still have to be accountable in the communities and where they live. And those are life lessons that you always have to continue to teach. And as I said, it's frustrating when you don't play well enough in the second half that all those things that you believe in, they don't end in a positive result for those guys. So I'm going to continue to stay positive.
We have